Good morning, students. Welcome to the online class. Our topic for today is difference between compound and mixture. So, what is a compound? Compounds are the pure substance that are made with elements. And what are mixtures? Mixtures are the impure substance that are made with element or compound or element or compound or element compound as both. So the first difference, you will write the definition. I'm beginning with the second difference. So the second difference says that the ratio is fixed. In compound, the ratio is fixed, means the ratio of the compound is fixed, means if there is a compound, suppose CO2, that is carbon dioxide. So one part of carbon dioxide, that is C, it is made with 1. Okay, the ratio of the carbon in the carbon dioxide compound, it is 1, and the ratio of oxygen, the participant of the oxygen, is 2. So 1:2. So in all the molecules of the compound carbon dioxide, the ratio will be same, 1:2. But if we take a mixture, the ratio is not same, is not the same. The ratio in the mixture is not fixed, not same. Means if we take the solution of salt and water, we take a glass, we put some water, and then we add salt, so we can add 3 spoon, 4 spoon, 5 spoon, or we can add 1 glass, 2 glass, we can take anything. Okay, so it have any amount of salt, it has any amount of water. That is not fixed, I hope you can see this one. Okay, then cannot be separated by physical means. It says that suppose there is a compound ferrous sulphate. Okay, so ferrous sulphate is made with ferrous and sulfur. Okay, so when it is burned, it combines and make into one compound, that is FeS. So now when this has turned into a compound, we cannot break it and we cannot get the iron back by physical means. Okay, but on the other hand, if we take bits of paper in a bowl, and we put some iron pin, so what happens here, we bring a magnet, all the iron pins will be attracted towards the magnet, and we can separate the iron pin and the paper. So it can be separated by physical means, and compounds cannot be separated by physical means. Okay, so we left with the third point, that is it is homogeneous. The mixtures are always almost homogeneous in nature, always homogeneous in nature. Now what do you mean by that? When we take two elements, suppose we take carbon dioxide, and when it mixes with each other, the carbon and the oxygen, that is the parent element, we cannot distinguish between them. That which one is the carbon and which one is the oxygen. They combine and they make with one compound, that is carbon dioxide. Then we take another example, MgO, magnesium oxide. So when magnesium oxide we bring, we cannot distinguish between which is magnesium and which one is oxygen, which one is its oxide. So we cannot distinguish between them. That is why it is said that it is always a homogeneous in nature. Then we come to mixture. Mixtures are both, it is homogeneous as well as it is heterogeneous. What do you mean by homogeneous? Means in the previous video we have seen that what is a homogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture is a mixture in which we cannot distinguish between the uh, parent element of the mixture. Suppose salt and water. When we put salt in the water and we stir it, we cannot see the salt. We cannot see the salt. We cannot distinguish the two elements, the two parent elements, in different ways. But in the heterogeneous mixtures, suppose we take paper and pen in this example also, we can clearly see that there are two parent element in that mixture. Then formation of a compound involves chemical change. Formation of a compound always involves a chemical change. There will be a chemical change if there is a formation of compound. And since we know in our fifth standard, whenever there is a chemical change, there is always a new substance formed. For an example, ferrous and sulfur, these are the two elements. When they are made into a compound, there is a new substance formed, that is FeS, ferrous sulfate. Okay, then formation of a mixture does not involve any chemical change and there is no new substance formed. Suppose we take sand and we take this the cement. We take the cement, so we can distinguish that the mixture is a does not has any chemical change and there is no new substance form. It is basically a mixture of sand and cement. Okay, then the second last example, that it does not shows the characteristics of the components it is made up of. So the components it is made up of, it does not show the same characteristics of the component. We take the same example as FeS. So it is made of, Fe is basically iron. Okay, so if you have gone through the periodic table, you have seen element that is Fe, that is iron. So when FeS is made by iron and sulfur, so now this compound, this FeS, will not be attractive in nature with the magnet. It is non-magnetized now. Okay, we know that iron gets attracted by the magnet, but this compound will not be attracted by the magnet. It has its own characteristics. That is why it is said it does not show the characteristics of its component. So the component is iron. Now it does not, it has the iron has the power of attraction by the magnet, but when it is turned into a compound, it does not shows the power of attraction. Then does show the characteristics of a compound. Since we have studied here, so the component of the iron is to be attracted when it is mixed with the paper bits, and we bring the magnet, the iron gets attracted. And we can separate this both. Then compounds have fixed melting point and fixed boiling point. Okay, so compounds has fixed melting point and fixed boiling point, whereas the mixture does not has any fixed melting or boiling point. For an example, if we have a compound magnesium oxide, MgO, so suppose it melts in, suppose we take another example which will be easier for you. Suppose water. So water boils in 100 degree centigrade. Okay, water boils in 100 degree centigrade. But if we take, so this is both two elements. So this both, when made into a compound, they both has a boiling point as 100 degree centigrade, Okay, but if we take, suppose iron and copper, so these both are having two different boiling points and two different melting points. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the compounds and mixtures. So let's recap. First you will write the definition of both on the top, number 1. Then it says about the ratio. Compound is having a fixed ratio, mixtures do not have a fixed ratio. It is homogeneous in nature. It is both homogeneous and heterogeneous in nature. It cannot be separated by physical means. It can be separated by physical means. The formation involves chemical change and a new substance is formed. The formation of a mixture does not involve any chemical change and there is no new substance formed. The characteristics of the compound does not shows the characteristics of the components it is made up of, and the characteristics of the mixture shows the characteristics of the components it is made up of. Mixtures has a fixed melting and boiling point. Compounds having a fixed melting and boiling point, and mixture do not have a fixed melting and boiling point. So with this we end with the chapter. I request you to make a note of your own language and write in your copy.